Sweet friends, how do you do today? And how do you woo today? And how do you woo you today? Welcome to How to Woo, a podcast on love and making love so we can make sure we're making lives we love. I am your host, Luna Robbie. I am a multi-artist and creative guide obsessed with learning about life, especially from other humans direct, because we all have our own unique perspective and wisdom. So here we are again for some deep listening and a little necrophilia so we can stay excited about life and co-create a world where taking care of each other is the norm. Let's dive in. Our guest today is a 36-year-old single bisexual woman who is into unicorning, exhibitionism, sensual partnered experiences, senior citizens, including senior citizens at nursing homes, creating content with fans, and anal gangbangs. An OnlyFans creator and performer with us today from the Midwest. Welcome, Wisconsin Tiff.
Hi.
I'm so excited to have you here. Before we get into sexy details, let's get to know you as a person first. In general, what would you say you are excited about, or like what in life makes you happy? What makes you go, woo?
I love travel and especially going down to Chicago to meet my fans.
Ooh,
And yeah, I love having spa days and having self-care.
I love that.
That's what I like.
Great. Tell us a little bit about your self-love practices. Like, how do you woo yourself? I'm hearing spa days. Like, what do you do for yourself to make sure that love is starts at home?
I love to go to the spa all the time, probably more than I should. I love going to this water spa that's actually rated the number one best spa in the Midwest in Kohler, Wisconsin, and it is a water spa. Oh my gosh, that place makes me feel so good and recharged, and then I'm ready to get back into doing my work, but I love having my hair done all the time, like, I just had my hair done today, and doing all these self-care things really does keep me feeling like, "Okay," 'cause I do a lot of stuff off on the camera, so I
Yeah,
need to recharge myself
you
if
have
I'm
to
doing all that.
recharge. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is a water spa? Is it like different types of water? I mean, like, can you describe it for us?
So the appliances and the faucets that are in a lot of homes that are by Kohler are made from Kohler, Wisconsin. And at the spa, they use all of their like best shower heads and like they have a steam room, a sauna, and a cold plunge in the steam room so you can get really hot and then go in the cold plunge. After
Love
you
that.
have your service done, you can do all these like it's a big room where people are doing their own little thing. I love that spa so much. It really does make me feel after I'm done with that, I'm like, man, this job really is worth it because I wouldn't be doing this if I was back in my old life.
Oh, I hear that. I hear that. And how beautiful. What a good way to take care of yourself. How do you like to be taken care of by other people?
Going out to eat, going to a nice restaurant because I love good food.
Mm.
And there's a couple of restaurants that I really love down in Chicago. One of my fans takes me to my favorite restaurant. I think he knows what my love language is, and I love receiving gifts, even if they're like little. You
So
take me out to eat, I'm gonna be like your best friend.
I am the same way. I'm like, food is definitely one of my top love languages,
Yes,
especially when it's
food.
excellent food. I recently had a lover
Yes.
feed me like unprompted, and I was like, oh my God, like I'm already so well fucked, but like, oh my God, oh, I want more. When in your like experience in life, when would you say you feel the most connected to other humans?
When we're really in depth with sharing each other's experiences where we don't feel like we're not gonna judge each other and it feels like a safe split space and knowing like, okay, they get me.
Yeah.
Because I've had so many people in my past where I thought they were my friend and I was vulnerable with them, and then I later learned that they never really did like me. So, it caused me to have a lot of trust issues.
Yeah, that's so painful.
Yeah, so I'm a little closed off when it comes to, like, who I share my details with, so when I do meet people in the industry, I try to just not give out too much information until I really, like, get to know them as a person.
Okay. So I'm hearing trust
Yeah.
building to create that connection.
Yeah.
What sort of trust and connection do you need with another person to like want to actually have sex with them? Like you are a person who like sex is a part of your work. What do you need to hit a certain level of connection, or like what are the factors in place that cause you to say, yes, you can come into my personal sphere?
I think the biggest part is when someone is not pushy with me and they're not trying to rush something, because I've had people where they move too fast and they're like, I could see a future with us. And it's like, that's such a huge turnoff for me. And if you know you see a future with us, you don't have to say it,
Yes.
because
Yes. Yeah.
you don't have to say it. And that's why I think the biggest reason why one of these guys that I hang out with all the time, he's never been like that, because I think he knows, like, we're obviously going to be long-term friends, and pushing that just because the guy is trying to hint to me in a way like, hey, I really like you. Obviously, I know you like me. That's why we're hanging out. But I'm not ready to make a commitment because I've only known you for 4 weeks.
Totally. I totally feel that. I'm like, no, no, no. Don't tell me about what you're going to do. Just show me every day when you show up for me in ways that are meaningful to me. And then we will build a relationship. Like, just create a safe space and have trust. I love that. I really love that answer. When it comes to health and safety practices in terms of sex, what do you need to feel safe? Like, what do you do testing wise, protocols wise, whether you're creating content with someone or just like out in the world alone? Like, what do you need to feel sexually safe and secure when it comes to health and safety?
I make all the guys do talent test. So all the fans have to go to talent test, even if they're not a content creator. So that way I hold my integrity, especially for the industry, because a lot of these guys have never gone to a testing clinic, or if they have, they haven't done the extensive type of testing that we require, where like the swabs show or can sometimes show stuff that the urine wouldn't show for
Yeah.
some reason. That's happened. And I've had guys come to my gangbangs. Well, they couldn't come because their test came back, but I've had it where a few of the guys came back with something from just the swab alone. They had chlamydia in the swab, but not in the urine. They couldn't join the gangbang. So if they had never done that, I would have probably gotten chlamydia in my throat. And a lot of these guys on the internet who say they want to film with me and they don't want to do the testing, or they don't understand like why I require talent test, don't realize that I'm not only putting myself at risk, I'm also putting the whole industry at risk, because it could become a domino effect. And that's not fair to them.
Yeah, so it sounds like you are comfortable playing unprotected as long as they have appropriate testing. What sort of time
Mhm.
frame and what like instructions do you give them? I imagine it's like once you get this test, do not fucking touch anyone else until we have done our scene, right? And that's just like trust that you have to kind of put out there. Is it, and what's the time frame of the testing?
So if I film on a Monday or a Tuesday, I have them go on a Thursday or Friday, because the testing place isn't open on, they don't take blood work on Saturday and Sunday, but they have to do it within a few days before it. And then they'll get the results 24 hours after doing it. They ship the kits down. And if they do anything, they can only do stuff with people who are talent tested, which they probably aren't going to, because the chances of that is very slim. But I trust them that they're not going to do anything. I just assume like they're not going to. So it's one of those risks. But I thankfully haven't had any issues, because I haven't had anything come back every time I test.
I
So
love that. How often do you have to test?
when I'm actively doing stuff, I test every 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's standard. That's so cool. And I do think that's a great point, right? If someone is willing to go to the work of getting the test, usually that person is not going to want to fuck up their outcome. And I know that most people
Yeah.
who I have interfaced with in that way are wanting, for the most part, they're good faith people. They want to kind of like keep themselves safe, keep us safe. So that is awesome. Getting into all the sexy details, we have a little bit of previews here of it sounds like you play with fans. But before we get into all of the details, for a baseline, could you rate yourself on if there were a sexual shame-o-meter, with 10 being I am so full of sexual shame and 0 being like I don't have any? Where do you fall today, right now, and when, if ever, over the years has it moved?
As of right now, like, as a person, I don't have any shame as myself. I am very, confident with myself, but because of the area I live in, I can't really express myself. I have to be very careful because I will get judged, and sometimes I will feel a bit of shame. Like, I'll feel guilty because I don't know how to explain it, but if I'm, like, in LA or Vegas, I feel like, "No shame.
I totally get
This is
that.
my place." Like, everybody should, and honestly, I've had Uber drivers where they wanna be in my videos because that's how open I
Of course
am. I'm
they
like,
do.
"Yeah, you should be in a video with me," and I'm like, "I love this place because here in Wisconsin, everybody acts like it is the worst thing ever, and even if they do watch stuff, they still judge. So they're just so fake here. They're
Oh,
so fake, they're judgmental, but I am very careful with how I am out in the public around here.
okay.
So a lot of people don't even know. I have a feeling the juice bar knows what I do because they probably have seen my stuff on social media,
Okay.
but, they've never said anything, and some people think I'm cool because but I don't feel like I can share my job with, like, my neighbors and stuff because I really don't know how they feel, and, I wanna stay where I'm at because I like where I live, so I'm gonna just
Yeah.
respect everybody's boundaries, and I don't wanna, like, prove, like, "You have to like me," so that's why I like to go down to Chicago because I feel like it's a little more accepting down there too.
Yeah, yeah. I have experienced Chicago as a very sex work friendly place. I've never been in person, but I just know from talking to people. I also
Yeah.
totally relate to what you are saying because I have a good litmus test when I tell people, I'm like, oh, yeah, I have this sex podcast and I interview people, all kinds of people. And then depending on how they react to that, I might be like, yeah, and I interview my friends at this cool brothel. I interview my friends who are these sex workers. And then depending on how they respond to that, then maybe I'll share more about like what I do personally, or I'll be like, I do erotic photography. And then, so I have all these different ways to kind of see where someone is. But I relate to that so hard because like when I'm in LA, when I'm in Vegas, I'm like, I wear tiny tank tops that count as shirts. Like I don't wear that many clothes. My butt cheeks hang out. Like that's kind of always what I've worn as a farm girl. But then I go back to my hometown and like walking in the downtown area, I'm like, oh shit, I'm naked. Ah, I'm not supposed to be like this here. And, so it's like, oh yeah. Even though I don't really care, it's also just like feeling the energy difference is for real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel like energetically when you go to Chicago, do you feel like there's a shift or do you feel like it's more permission in your head? Maybe some combination? Like it sounds like it's like freeing for you to go to Chicago to make stuff.
Because it's nowhere near my home,
Yeah.
and I don't have to worry. Because I try to I can't do vlogs in my area, like,
Yeah.
I do vlogging
Mm-hmm.
for OFTV
Okay.
now,
Okay.
and then I just do personal vlogs, but because of me being Wisconsin Tiff and people being able to pick out little details in the background, I'm so worried about people finding my location.
Yeah. That's a
So
good fear.
I even yeah, even where I got my hair done today at the salon, I'm like, I am gonna try to blur out the salon name and
Yeah.
stuff because it's hard trying to vlog and being in Wisconsin because I'm holding back and I have so much potential with my
Mm.
vlogging, but because I'm so scared of somebody finding my location. So that's why I like to go down to Chicago.
That makes total sense. That makes total sense. What are some things that you find sexy or things that turn you on or things that you are just like, "Ugh, yes."
I've always been a sexual person, even, like, as a teenager,
Mhm.
and I don't know why. Maybe it's because of my past, but I was out doing stuff when I was 16 with my ex-husband, and I remember when I was 15, there was this neighbor boy who lived down the road, and I gave him a blowjob when I was 15. I didn't know what I was doing, and he had a girlfriend. And he had a big black cock, and I and when my ex-husband and I broke up in high school, I was so sad about it that I ended up, becoming a slut and fucked these 2 guys. And then, I've done threesomes when I was in high school, and I kept it on the low. I've been doing, like, pretty much, like, gangbangs since way before porn.
Oh, I love knowing that though. Like it really is a personal passion. Wait, when was your first one?
A long time ago.
Okay.
I've always been a sexual person, so I've been very sexual for a really long time.
Okay. In your younger years, did you ever get sex ed lessons, anything like that? Like, it sounds like you grew up in a sort of conservative area. Like, what sort of education or sex talks did you get?
None from my dad. It was very hush hush, and I grew up down in Tennessee after, my mom passed away. We went down to Tennessee for, I believe, 11 years, and then we moved back up to Wisconsin, and then that's when I had met my ex-husband when, I was 16. But I remember so the older man stuff goes way back to when I was a teenager. And there was somebody at the church that I used to hang out with who was 72
Okay. Okay.
and I was 12.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a big age gap. Yeah. So the older man stuff has been gone back to like a really long time. I used to kiss him and stuff, and he passed away, thankfully.
Okay. 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 So that's a very
I know that
specific.
sounds like it's so messed up, but I
Well,
mean,
it is also part of life, right? And we are all
mhm,
educated in our own personal ways, and if we don't talk about it, then like we don't know and we can't create anything better for the future. What sort of sex
mhm.
ed do you wish you'd gotten? It sounds like you didn't have much in school. Like maybe Tennessee didn't.
We did have sex ed, but I was so embarrassed by it because
Oh, interesting.
my dad was very hush hush about stuff like we don't talk
Okay.
about that. And honestly, I feel that if my dad had taught me confidence, maybe I would have made different life choices. But he did not build that confidence up in me. I had to build my own confidence after I left my ex husband
Okay. Okay.
4 years ago. So, yeah.
Oof, okay, well, congrats on that. And also, I would love to hear any other formative experiences that kind of paved the way, or maybe even just like, how did you organize a gangbang in your younger year? Like, how did you know how to go about doing that? How did you even know what a gangbang was? Like, I did not learn about that until my mid 20s. I was like, a what? I could have more? Really?
Um, we were all drunk
Uh-huh.
at parties.
Okay, 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 okay. That tracks. I
So
wasn't invited to a lot of parties.
it wasn't planned. And
Okay.
then one of the girls, she was so embarrassed at school and she's like, "We are not talking about this." And I'm like, I want to do it again. I'm thinking in my brain, I'm like, there's nothing wrong with it. I was like, I'm thinking, I'm like, all right. And she was so mad.
Okay.
And I was like, she was so mad. She's like, I'm not a lesbian. And like, and I was like, okay, I see where this is going. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, I'm just not going to say anything. But she was so afraid that people were going to think she was a lesbian.
Wait, were you guys like hooking up and getting gangbanged or like
Her and I were doing stuff, and then there was like some other guys who got involved. But because her and I were doing stuff, she was like saying she got mad the next day because she was like, "I'm not a lesbian,"
okay.
and I was like thinking, I'm like, well, you don't have to be a lesbian to be doing this. It was just for fun. Anyways, she took it pretty hard.
Okay.
Me, on the other hand, I was like, that was fun. So, but I never talked about it again ever because I knew like she would have been so mad about it. So, yeah,
Okay.
that was the last time we had ever hung out as friends.
Got
So
it.
she was traumatized by the experience, while I wasn't. I
It
wanted
sounds like
more.
if anything, you were like turned on to a new part of yourself, like unfolding,
Mhm.
unfurling. And that was a pussy gangbang, or when did we start down the path of anal? And when did you
Um,
realize you were bisexual?
it's kind of like an orgy.
Okay.
It's like
Okay.
because her and I, some guys, I want to say at a very young age, I knew I was.
Yeah.
I was kind of like in denial because
Yeah.
of the way that I grew up.
Same a little bit.
I've always been very experimental and curious, even at a young age. And it wasn't until I got into the industry where I had admitted to, okay, I am bi, and I'm not afraid of saying it. Because I remember growing up, my father told me that if I ever became a lesbian, he would run me over with the truck. And I
What?
was like, so my brother decided to be a jerk and say she's a lesbian because he wanted to make our dad mad because he was trying to be funny. And I'm
Okay.
like, I'm not a lesbian. And then and my dad was like, you better not be a lesbian. And I was like, I'm not. I'm not a lesbian.
Yeah.
So the way that I was brought up, I was taught to be embarrassed about my sexuality.
Damn. When and how did that start to shift? Like, when did you recognize what a powerful gift your arousal and curiosity was? And then take us through that and how it transitioned into the work that you do.
It started in 2020 of December when my ex-husband, our marriage had just deteriorated and I had enough and I knew I had to leave because I knew there was more to life than what we were doing. We were like going through and I deserved happiness and I didn't want to be yelled at every day and felt like I was ugly or being
Mm.
told I wasn't pretty enough or when we were 16 he showed me a Playboy magazine or a porno magazine, wanted me to look like this woman in the porno magazine. And a lot of my insecurities came from my ex-husband because I did all these changes and then he'd get mad at me for doing these changes because he was like a manipulation tactic.
Yeah.
But it was in 2020 when things I just couldn't do it anymore. I had started TikTok
Okay.
and I didn't know how to use it. And I was playing around with it and to kind of just escape so I could keep myself busy. And I posted me being all like kind of goofy and it kind of like hit an algorithm of like teenagers and I was like, oh, it got some views. It got like 500 views and I felt like a star.
Mhm.
And then I made another video where I'm wearing like a tank top and I'm just dancing around being like goofy. And these guys commented, "You're so beautiful." And just started like making these comments. And I'm like, I've never been told I'm beautiful. And I'm like, yeah.
Oh, woman, you are so beautiful.
I was like, I better do my hair for the next one. I'm like, they think that too. Those two guys said I was beautiful. So I'm like, okay. So I was like, okay, my next TikTok, so I figured out how to use TikTok. I was like, how do I use it? And I was like trying to look at these dance trends and stuff, and I figured it out. And I was like, oh, these moms are doing like that. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to do it. And at the time, I wasn't that great at it, but so I was like, okay. And my ex-husband didn't like that I was getting this attention,
Okay.
and I saw an out. I saw an out to leave him because, I found out about OnlyFans.
Mm.
I figured this would be my chance to leave. I have a way of I have this chance of leaving. So, yeah, that's when it started, the whole confidence in my feeling like I knew I had the power of, like, using my sexual energy
Yeah.
because I hadn't I was believed that I was ugly and I wasn't good looking enough and didn't have that confidence. And then once I was shown like I was beautiful, if my ex-husband would have told me these things, I probably would have worshiped him. Like I
Mm.
already did, but I felt like if he would have said these things to me, I feel like I would have valued him more and put a little more effort instead of him like saying all these things and then not feeling like I have to chase him to
Yeah.
prove to get his love because yeah.
Well, and it sounds like he wasn't valuing you for the goddess that you inherently are, like literally asking you to change your
Mhm.
physicality to match an iconic magazine model. Like that's pretty wild, dude. Can I ask what the sex was like in your 20s? Like you're a horny person. Like it sounds like you're horny like me. Like it sounds like you're very arousable and you're very curious and it sounds like maybe you enjoy body sensations. Were you having any satisfying sex during your 20s or did you have solo sex? Like what was the landscape of your sex life like during that time?
Just with my ex-husband at the time,
Okay.
he had me doing like these weird stuff and I didn't want to do it because
Okay.
I felt like he was just using me for his own kink. I just felt like he wanted me to be like somebody that I wasn't instead of being like, what do you want?
Yeah. You okay, so now you get to choose more what you want?
And maybe if he would have treated me differently, I would have been okay with all the things he was doing because, we're having fun. But I just felt like I didn't have that confidence. Like the weirdest thing he had me do was take duct tape and duct tape each butt cheek and then put it on the doorway. So when he does me in the ass, it like opens the cheeks and we would go like this and we were like doing all this weird shit. And I look back now and I was like, it's so fucking weird. And so all of my like weird stuff comes from that. Like I do all these weird things. But now I'm like, if things were different, I'd be like, yeah, let's throw some duct tape on and record it to be weird. But yeah,
Yeah.
or like butt plugs and stuff. Like I didn't want to do any of that because I just felt like it was just I don't know, I just felt like he was trying to view me as not me
Yeah.
and as the girl in the video. Oh, and I feel like that's like a lot of relationships where the guys try to make the girls be like the porn stars and they don't understand why their relationship isn't thriving. And
Yeah.
it's like, have you ever thought about seeing like what she wants?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or maybe she doesn't have that confidence and she's going through what I went through.
Yeah. Okay, so now you're in this new era where you get to pick what you do and you get to pick what you want to display and you
Mhm.
get to pick what turn-ons and sensations you pursue. So it sounds like anal is a part of your menu for now?
Yes, I love gangbangs.
Okay, so anal is related to gangbangs for you. Like, do you ever have like a
Mhm.
one person anal or are you like, no, I need to have a gangbang of anal?
I do have one, like one-on-one anal.
Okay.
Mhm.
Tell us what you like about it.
I like that it gives stronger orgasms. And also, it just brings more craziness to people seeing the creativiness of me that they're not gonna see anywhere else.
Mm.
Because when are you gonna see an all anal gangbang from an OF girl? Not that many.
I love that. Okay, so for you, anal is connected to your creative self. I love this because my whole thesis is like sex is our original creativity. And when we explore it, like all of our creative parts open up. And so this is like the most literal version. I would love to hear when the first time you were like, let's get a few people in this asshole. Like what is that like? And what is your prep process like? I get a lot of questions from people who are anal curious. They know that I'm a butt slut. And so I'm always getting asked prep questions. But what's your process like? And when was the first time that you were like, let's get a group in here?
The prepping process is a big, douche, and it's one
Okay.
that is, charged through a cord, so I don't have to hook it up to the bathtub or anything or the shower. But I charge it and then I fill it up with water and then I push the button and it goes up and I do that like 5 or 6 times.
Okay.
I do that like an hour before the event. And then I take an anti-diarrhea pill
Okay.
Yeah, so that way, I don't have that urgency, and that really does make a difference because I am somebody that does not get constipated. I have no issues with that. So
Okay.
me taking this pill does not bother me because if
Okay.
somebody does suffer from constipation, they might not want to take it, or maybe they do. But and then I learned that from Rebel Rider when I asked her, "What do you do for your prep for these big gangbangs?" Because I that's a lot of dicks going, and I don't want to shit everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I do that, and then I try to take these fiber husk pills,
Yeah.
like, within a week so that yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how I do my prepping, and then my first anal gangbang was actually it was 14 or 15 guys.
Did you have them like warm you up? Is it including butt plugs? Like, what's the play process like for you? No, I'm getting a head shake.
No
No,
butt plugs,
no,
no butt
really?
plugs. No.
Okay.
I went from smallest dick to biggest dick. So I could
Wait, that's exactly how I'd want it. Did you like line them up? I'm so obsessed with the idea of like group things and like lining people up. Did you like line them up by dick? Was it standing in it? Like, tell us the details.
I didn't wanna, like, make them feel self-conscious about their dick size,
Good point. I
but,
was wondering about the
I
human parts of that.
there was, like, a few guys that had the same size, so I just was like, "Okay, yours looks like it's not gonna rip my ass open, so we're gonna start a warm up with that one." But I've been doing anal for 20 years, so, if I just start with smaller, then it's good, but I think there was I wanna say I did a three-way where the 2 guys did my ass, and that was before, but the actual, like, real anal gangbang where I was like, "Okay, I want to do an anal gangbang because I've done gangbangs where it was anal, but all anal was in September, just, a few months ago.
Yeah.
It was 14 or 15 guys. I can't remember.
Okay.
And that's on my OF.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's one of my best sellers right now.
Do you like to watch your own stuff or are you sort of like, no, no, they can see it?
It depends on the type of video it
Okay.
is. Sometimes I do, but yeah, I did a four-guy anal gangbang last month, I
Mm.
believe it was. Yeah, and then there was, like, 50 guys in my ass recently.
Wow, wow, wow. Girl, that is incredible.
And DP,
That was gonna be my next question. I was like, so is it anal only? Do you get other holes involved? Have you been spit roasted? Like anal spit roasted? Have you ever been plugged in all holes? Or do you have any desire to do any of those things? Yes, yes, I'm getting some nods. Tell us the details, please.
all yeah, I did. It was supposed to be an all anal gangbang, but I was like, okay, we obviously have to add DP to it because that just makes it even better.
Yeah.
Because I mean, so I didn't want anything in my pussy unless it was DP because I
Okay.
I want to market it as anal gangbang, and DP. I mean, DP just makes it more extreme. But yeah,
Do you anchor into the ass first and then add pussy? Like what position do you prefer for a DP?
he was like laying down on his back,
Okay.
and I was like on my back, kind of.
On the
And
left.
then I had these 2 guys, like, hold my arms, but when I was looking at the video, I was like, "Why do I look so awkward with those guys, like, holding my arms?" I look like, "What am I doing? What am I doing?" Like, I'm holding his arm, I'm holding his arm, I
Yeah,
look
yeah, yeah.
like I'm, like, in a contraption, like, I'm like
I
and I'm
kind of
like,
love that
holding
though.
somebody.
It's like a
And,
human contraption.
like, they're holding me through moral support.
Ooh, yeah. And so then another one climbs on top. And do you switch out back partners and front partners, or do you just like try that and then move on? Like how does like is it multiple pussy partners? Is it multiple ass partners in the DP part? Or like how do you literally organize that?
I had my friend with me, and we
Okay.
both we both were laying next to each other, and we both did double DP.
That's so hot. Okay. Is that one currently on your OF or is that one not yet? Okay, okay, not yet. Ooh, everyone has so much to look forward to. Okay, cool. Oh, a friendly gangbang. Wait, I have never thought about having a friend right next to me. All my gangbang fantasies, I am the center, but I'm like, I think I would really like a girlfriend gangbang. Hmm.
Yeah, we were holding hands too at one point, or she was like
Cute.
touching me, and then there was like coming. We were like, like making out like and there's like the dick and we are like going and then we're like and I was like feed me and I was like feed her. It was like super nasty. It
Cute.
was so nasty.
I love
So we
that.
wanted to make sure it was so nasty.
I love that. Is it funny that I think nasty is like adorable? I'm like, oh, it's so nice that you guys were so nasty together. I love it.
I ate the cum out of her ass.
You did? Okay, okay. I was gonna say, yeah. So do you like cum play? Are people allowed to come in your ass? Did she eat the cum out of your ass? How did it taste? I guess if you're clean, like it's all, you've done your prep work.
Yeah, I don't remember if she did, but to me, I don't if I taste anything, it doesn't really bother me because I've been eating cum out of my ass for a really long time, and I'm like, okay, if I taste shit, I'm like, it doesn't even bother me. But no, I don't remember. But it doesn't bother me because I'm like, I don't know, I've gotten so
Yeah.
used to it. So if I ate a piece of shit, I don't care.
I feel like deep butts lets understand this, and for me, there is a certain like combined arousal that goes with everything. I mean, I love that. I fucking love that. Is anal like your favorite way to be penetrated, or do you also enjoy like pussy sex and oral sex?
I honestly, I love pussy sex. The reason why I do so much anal is because I just want to show people my creativity and I like seeing how far I can go to get viral on the internet. And
Okay.
that's the honest truth. So I like seeing how viral I can get because I mean, you're not going to see many people doing what I do, but there's gonna be when this comes out, people are going to try to see if they're gonna try to beat the number, which is totally fine with me because, I mean, if I'm a trendsetter, then, or we're now people are wanting to do freaking anal gangbangs because I feel like it's gonna become a trend now because they're like, "Oh, they're getting so much attention. I won't be doing much anal anymore." And I don't care if people try to use it as a competition because it's like, "Oh, I started that."
Yeah. Also, nobody can compete with you. Like, you're the only you ever. Do you know what I mean? Like, no matter what, like, other
Mhm.
stuff, it's like that's your,
Yeah.
can I say accomplishment? Like, that's so
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah, and, I know there's been women who have done more than
Mm.
me when it comes to anal gangbangs, like, they've done I was Googling, like, what's the most amount of anal gangbang, and I think it was, like, 500 guys or something,
Whoa.
and I was like, "Oh my god, 500 guys? I don't wanna do that. I'm okay with that. I'll
I
do
mean, that
50
sounds like an
guys."
organizational nightmare. Like, that's.
Yeah. I'm like, "I'll just stick with 50, and as long as our marketing is really good, that's gonna make a huge difference."
Yeah. I mean, 50 is that already is impressive. Do you produce your own shoots or do you have someone that does logistics for you? Like, how do you handle it? Because it also sounds like, based on the way you were telling the story, like, is part of what's yummy about it the fact that you just kind of like lose your mind and don't remember if she ate the cum out of your ass or not? Like what's the fun part about having a group and then like logistically, how do you handle it?
So I will usually post on X when I'm looking for guys. I'm like,
Hmm.
hey, this is the event. This is what I'm doing. This is what I need. Head over to my FetLife.
Hmm.
Because then if they have that extra step and then they're serious. Because I don't want to have them flood my Twitter DMs because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
keep that more like for creators if I reach out to them. Because so I have them go to my FetLife and I tell them to send me your talent test ID number so I can confirm that they really have an account. And because if they have account, they're more likely to go get their testing done.
Yeah, yeah.
Then I tell them, okay, can you test on between these dates? And they tell me yes. And I go, okay, I'm going to add you to this group. So I send them a link to this app that puts them into this group so that I can keep it organized. And then I told the guys, I was like, okay, you guys, if you have this day to take your test, and if you don't take it, I'll have to like remove you from the group. So it keeps it very organized. So
Okay.
when I had shared how I organize, when somebody found out I do it all on my own,
Yeah.
she was like so surprised. So I showed her how I do it and how I make it easier. And she's like, oh, that is pretty easy because the way I've been doing it just seems like it's just so hard. And I'm like, yeah, I say the reason why I do this is because it cuts corners. So if people aren't wasting your time, because if they're
Yeah.
willing to go on FetLife, they're willing to go this extra steps to make videos. And then they sign the consent forms there, and then I have them take their photo ID, and I tell them what my do's and my don'ts during the gangbang. Like, I don't kiss during gangbangs because I don't want to get sick, and it's
Yeah.
just too many guys. And
Yeah.
something with like, I don't want to smell a guy's stinky breath because that's going to turn me off.
Yeah.
I have had guys where they're fine, but then there'll be like one guy where his breath will smell like he needs to go to the dentist,
Yeah.
and it's gonna like it turn me off and make me feel like I'm gonna throw up. So
Mhm.
I prefer not kissing. Plus, I have had strep in the past,
Yep.
and I can't kiss during the gangbangs because I'm
No.
like, I'm gonna end up with strep again because
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
strep during a gangbang.
Yeah. It's so interesting whenever I go to like play parties or group situations or like in those scenarios when people are like, "What do you mean you're not going to kiss?" And I'm like, "Well, I just met you and I have a sensitive immune system. And like, if I get sick, then that's like a week or two of my life that I can't function. So, are you going to cover my bills? Like, are you invested in me?
Yeah.
No? Then get the fuck away from my mouth." It's kind of how I feel. I'm like, I want to stay
Yeah.
healthy. And like I like kissing, don't get me wrong, but it's like numbers and
Mhm.
risk and all of that. Okay, so that's extra fun. Do you feel like you've achieved something with this 50-person gangbang and you're like good with them, or do you feel like you're going to keep doing gangbangs, and if you want to keep doing them, do you have a specific gangbang like scenario or fantasy or just like location setting, something that would take it to the next level for you?
I want to do bigger gangbangs where it's like 200-300 guys down the
Okay.
road.
Okay. Do you
Yeah.
give them a
And
time limit or do you like let them all come? Like how do you organize that part?
I did another oh, yeah, during Vegas, I did a lot of gangbangs. I forgot about this one. I did 20 guys with my friend in Vegas, back in January. We did 20 guys in 30 minutes. We told them, I'm like, "Okay, guys, we have until 9 o'clock. The camera's getting cut off. We have to go to a party."
Oh my God.
So I don't really time them. I mean, I guess if I had like 200 guys and I had like only a limited amount of time, I would
Yeah.
probably have to do the math in my head
Yeah.
before so I can kind of figure out.
Because I'm like, even a minute for each one is a long gangbang. Like if you're doing 300
Yeah,
people, like that's several hours, which is kind of hot, but like it's a lot.
I want to do I want to do a gangbang where it's like 10 70-year-olds or like 80-year-olds.
Oh
And then
yeah.
I want to fuck 100-year-old.
What's the oldest person? Let's tell each other our oldest people we've ever fucked. Okay, do you want to go first or should I go first? And I think we're the same age. Well, I'm 35 turning 36, so we're about the same age.
80.
Okay, mine's 88. Well, he just turned 88.
What? What?
He's in good health, my sweetie pie.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's
It's
crazy.
so inspiring to me because I'm like, let's not that it's a contest. I just think it's so fun that we both have octogenarians in on our roster. But I think too, it's also such a beautiful incentive for us, we the people humans, to take care of our physical containers, right? Because there's biological age and chronological age. Like just because we are a certain number doesn't mean, that our bodies are that age or older. Like we can take really good care of ourselves. So I love that. What do you love about being with not just older men, but like senior citizens? Because like I know what I like about it, but I would love to hear what you like about it.
Senior citizens are a different breed of people. Like, they
They don't
like to
give a
tell
fuck.
their stories. They like to tell their stories. They like to take their time with me.
Yeah.
They really do like to talk about themselves, which is so funny, or their past,
Yeah.
or they don't really give a shit about anything. And it's funny because sometimes when there's an older man, it depends on the type of man. They just like, okay, we gotta go. Like, let's hurry this up. I was on the phone with this guy, with this old man, and it was supposed to be a couple minutes, and he's just rambling about something else. And then me being like how I am today, I'll be like, hey, hon, I gotta go. Okay. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna let you go. Cause I'm like, you have to be like very firm with them, like tell it
Yeah.
how it is. Otherwise, they're not gonna be quiet. They're gonna keep talking
Well, and I
until
bet they're
like,
so excited to get your attention too. Like they're like, let me tell you
yeah.
something else about me. Like it's cute. Okay. Okay.
So yeah, and just they take their time with me. And then Jack Moore is a legend in the industry, and we're supposed to film again soon. He's an older man. He's also a Purple Heart, and I text him all the time. He's gonna fly up. We're gonna do another video, and we're gonna go out to eat and stuff. And he is amazing. Like he is the type of older man who is mature, and he treats a woman with respect and takes his time with her, and, he knows how to eat pussy.
Yes. I love that. I love that. I also feel like I have encountered a lot of older gentlemen who never had a mouth on their cock, and so to give them that experience for the first time has been, like, really incredible. Like, that's kind of one of my favorite things because it's, generationally not something that necessarily was given, and so I love that too. You mentioned a nursing home tour before we
Mhm.
started recording. Can you please tell us, like, how, what is it? How are you doing? Like, what's happening here? How do you organize one? What are you going to do there? Tell us about that.
So I'm gonna do 2 different kinds. The first, one of them is gonna be a more safe for work where I volunteer at a nursing home, and it's just gonna be for, like, safe for work for social media stuff where I'm gonna ask the nursing home for permission if we can entertain the elderly, maybe we have you ever seen, like, when you see Instagram reels where they have the strippers show up and they have, like, and it's they have, but I'm not gonna be the stripper. I'm gonna try to see if I can do a class where I teach old people how to twerk, but I'm like, I don't know, I might
Yes.
be hurting their back.
I was going to say, watch out for the
But
hips. Okay.
yeah, I want to get their permission to do that. But the other one is I have a friend who has connections to nursing homes, and I am going to have a hidden camera, and I am going there with him to visit his family member, and we're gonna see what I can do. So I'm gonna be recruiting one of the older men to be in my videos, but I have to do it in a way where they can actually leave the nursing home, and I'll
Okay.
have them sign consent forms. And if they can't show their face because they're worried about their family,
Right.
because I will let them know, like I'm not gonna hide it from the fact that, hey, I don't want your family to get mad at me.
Yeah.
Sometimes older men like to talk, so that's another thing I
They
have
do.
to worry about.
For better or worse. It's like,
Because if they find out, like, I filmed with this porn star on the
yeah, yeah.
internet, and they'll be like, Grandpa, what are you talking about? And then, like, they'd say, wait a minute, is that? No, she's exploiting him. So, anyways, I have to
Mm.
do it smart. But I was banned from 3 nursing homes because they told me they don't want me in their nursing home because for legal purposes. And I'm like, okay. So that was in the news and all over. And
Okay.
so
Wait, were you very naughty? You don't have to tell us details unless you want to, but like, were you very naughty? Like, did you do anything that was like three different expression? Okay.
one of the older men is no longer here. He was in my videos a lot.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I want to do the safe for work one first,
Yeah.
just to see like what I can do for like something funny, giving back to the old people. I'm not doing any harm. I'm just there to volunteer my time to entertain them. And
Yeah.
all they have to do is be in my social media, because there's a lot of lonely people in the nursing homes and their families don't visit them, or
Yeah.
and me just showing up and just having a good time. I'm somebody that likes to take care of people, so doing that for like an old person would make my day because seeing them
I
happy.
love that. I love that so much. I would love to hear more about how you invite everyday people, including but not limited to fans, to be in videos with you. Because that's kind of my future horizon or something I've been adjacently curious about. And I'm just curious what that process is like and like what's your selection process like? It sounds like safety first, obviously, but like tell us a little bit about how you decided to fuck fans, play with them, etc., and like getting them to be in videos.
It started when I was doing TikTok. I fucked a few of my followers, but not for content.
Mm,
I met them on TikTok, and that's when it started. But when I was ready to do content with fans, I always had this like vision that I was gonna do a fuck a fan contest, and I didn't really know how to do the contest. So there's I never do contests because I'm like, I don't even know how to do those.
Yeah.
But so I'm like, screw a contest. I'm just gonna let them all join because then they know they have a chance. Because with the contest, you just never know if they're real or fake. But with me, you know you're going to get with me because there's no contest. But I always was like posting on like Twitter, be like, oh, should I fuck a fan? Because you'll see like comments be like, oh, I should fuck a fan. And me, I'm like, I need to like actually fuck a fan because all these girls say I want to fuck a fan. Well, I am fucking a fan.
Mm.
And then Tadpole, the one who got me introduced to like the gangbangs on the video, introduced me to some guys in the lifestyle. And then I started filming with like random guys from the internet because of him. And so it got me more comfortable. So after I started doing that, now it's easy for me. All I do is post on Twitter that I need guys, and then they go to my FetLife. And when I'm at the meet and greets, like if I'm at Exotica and I get to see them in person
Yeah.
and like they're really good looking, I'm like, oh yeah, I want you in my content.
Are you gonna be at the Chicago Exotica in April or March, April, end of March?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Yes, I am going to be at a booth signing for Tadpole. And then I'm going to be filming with a pretty big male creator, which I'm really excited about. I don't know if I'm going to do a gangbang there because my surgery, I
Okay.
want it to be a creator to fuck my brand new
Mm.
vagina.
Tell us about your brand new vagina.
I had a labiaplasty. I technically didn't need it, but I wanted to trim up the skin and I wanted to like trim it. I just wanted it to look very asymmetrical. And I was actually going originally to have it bleached.
Oh,
And I mean, it's not that dark, but I'm like, I want it to be like pink, pink, like all over, like. So the lady was telling me about labiaplasty, and I was like, hmm. I'm like, okay, I'll get that done. That was a month ago that I had decided I was going to do a labiaplasty.
okay. How was it? Did it hurt?
It hurts. It's sore.
Okay.
I'm technically not allowed, I'm not supposed to drive, but I drove today and yesterday, and I still have stitches. But I took a phone down there because I was curious. It
Yeah.
was like the day after I had it done, I took my phone down there and I was like, oh my God, what did I do? I was like, why does it look all swollen like that?
Oh, it's
I was like, I don't
healing.
like that. I was
Yeah,
like,
well,
I don't like that.
she's
I don't
healing.
like that. She was better before. And I was like, what did I do? It looks like Frankenstein down there with the stitches because I didn't realize that when they do it, it's like I was just like, and then my butthole, and there's like like
Wait, wait, what's your butthole like? What do you mean?
so I ended up getting it repaired because all of the anal that I've done has caused some issues. Like I ended up getting a hemorrhoid and then an anal fissure and something else. And it is from the amount of anal, also giving birth.
Okay.
And it wasn't that bad, but it would get worse. Every time I would do anal, it would like make it worse. So when I found this woman who does labiaplasties, I was like, oh, I want her to fix my asshole. So she like, I don't know what they did, like, but I took the camera down there and I was like, dang, that thing is beautiful. I was like, holy crap. It looks like a nice fresh butthole, like, I don't have a hemorrhoid, or I don't have to push anything back in there. Cause like, I was so self-conscious about it, and it was very
Mm.
the surgeon said, she's like, it's not even that bad. I'll
Yeah.
just do it for free because you're getting labiaplasty." I was like, "Lady, I need to have it cut that thing cut off, whatever that piece of little skin is that's hanging out of my butthole. I want it chopped off and
Mm.
sewed up and because I have to spread my butthole open for the world to see. So, anyways, I took my camera down there today, and my everything looks very nice down there, minus all the stitches.
Yeah. Well, you're healing.
It's very
Okay.
like my butthole's like very like I've never seen it like that until it's very
Amazing.
like tight. I mean, it's
Okay.
always been tight, but it's like It's very like
Yeah,
I should show
yeah.
you. No.
A whole new butthole. It's so funny because I'm like, oh, you were looking at your butthole today too. Me too. Of course we were. Only in these conversations. When you're with a fan, do you do whatever the fuck you feel like? Do you give them the option to use multiple holes? Like, is it mostly penis creators? Do you hook up with ladies too? You are bisexual. You mentioned unicorning. So, like, tell us a little bit about how you decide what to do with someone and, when you're putting it on camera.
I mostly work with male fans.
Okay.
Male creators don't happen all the time, but because I'm having this done, I don't want it to be with a fan. I want it to be with this content creator who is pretty well established. And I just don't want to give my new vagina to just some guy on the internet. I know that sounds like really bad because I'm like,
No, you're allowed to do what you want to do with your vagina.
plus he claimed it when I told him. He's like, oh,
Ooh.
I want to be the first person. And I said, okay, sold. But I have a few guys who are fighting over who's going to be it, because there's this guy and he's pretty famous and he wants to fuck my pussy first, but I'm like, I'm probably going to let him down by saying like, I'm going to let Flush Mechanic fuck my pussy first.
Okay, how exciting. Oh my gosh. I'm like, but maybe they could both be there. I don't know. A back and forth situation could be interesting. Who knows? Okay, I'm open to possibility. Yeah, so how do you decide when you're with a fan, not a content creator, what you're going to do with them? Is that something that you talk about ahead of time?
I usually will post what the shoot I'm doing and what I need for the shoot. So if it's an anal shoot, I'm very clear with, hey, this is an anal shoot. I need a
Okay.
guy or I need 5 guys. So I'm pretty clear with what I want for the content so they know what they're going in to expect. I have had it where I started my period and I'm like, okay, we're gonna have to do anal. So, but other than that, they know exactly what they're getting into when they go to a shoot with me.
Okay.
Mhm.
Cool. Cool. Do you talk to them at all ahead of time or are you just like show up, be kind? Because I identify as a kind sexual. So if someone is like a nice person and I can have a little bit of human connection with them, I'm like, yeah, if this makes sense for our overlap, let's fuck. But like for you, do you have to like personality screen or does that come through pretty clearly if they can follow the steps from X to FetLife to completing instructions? Like how is that part for you?
If they come off as kind of creepy or pushy or not respecting it as a shoot, and they're saying like, "Oh, do you want to see my dick?" or like just being kind of inappropriate, because it is kind of like it's supposed to be professional. Like you're
Yeah.
doing a shoot and it's going to be like, it's not a hookup.
Yeah.
It's not sexting. It is, you are signing up to do a shoot. And a lot of the guys are pretty respectful. I've had a few guys where they were pushing the boundaries. I have an assistant that I had to end up hiring because some of them were not being very respectful and abusing the app by messaging it, wanting to contact me. And I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, well, if you want to talk to me and if you have questions, you can purchase my Snap or you can go on my OnlyFans and purchase it, because I don't think you realize like we need to keep these apps for what they're intended
Yeah.
for, because I have to keep it organized. Otherwise, it's going to throw everything off and they don't understand that. But I'm like, these guys don't, some of the guys don't understand. Like, if you go on my Snap, you have a better chance of me replying. And
Mm,
also, there's a few guys that are on my Snap that get into my gangbangs because
okay.
them just doing that, going that effort, and makes me feel like, okay, they really do respect me as a person and they're not just like trying to cut corners, because
Yeah.
I don't like when men try to cut corners with me and it makes me feel like I can't trust them.
For sure, for sure. Also, for me, it's a big deal to be like, do you want to show me that you value me as a human being? Because for people who don't have a relationship with me, I'm like, you can make a relationship with me by being a guest on this podcast, by joining my OnlyFans and paying to message me there, by signing up for a shoot with me as a photographer, by visiting me for sexy things in places where that's appropriate. Like those are the ways that you show respect if you want to make a connection. And everything else to me totally feels like scroungy boundary pushing, and that's definitely a turnoff. When do you get to be a unicorn? Like, have you been a unicorn on camera? Like, do you do threesomes on camera? Has it mostly been like you and one other partner outside of gangbangs? Like, how is unicorning shown up in your life?
Okay, so when I had first started OnlyFans, when I had just left my ex-husband, I became a hoe.
Yes.
And I decided to explore my options because I was like, I can go out and fuck. Like, okay. I met this couple in my area in the fall, I think it was. It was like later in that year, and I wasn't doing content with anybody else but solo stuff. And I met them, I think, on Instagram or Twitter, and we became friends. And I did stuff with them, but we did it off camera because I wasn't ready to do stuff like that on camera.
Yeah.
That was my first experience. And then things kind of fell through because I'm not very good with when it comes to like wanting to form a relationship and take it to the next step. I'm not really good with like text messaging. I would rather talk about it in person
Yeah.
because the woman had sent me a text message wanting to take it further and probably creating a relationship. And I'm not good with communicating through text message like that because
Same.
it was a big deal for me. And I didn't reply because
Okay.
I didn't know what to say because
Yeah.
and then they unfollowed me, and now we kind of reconnected.
Okay.
They found a different girl,
Good
but
for them.
I honestly wasn't in the place to be dating at the time
Yeah.
because I was still freshly single. But that was my experience, and I had a lot of fun with them. But we did reconnect not too long ago, but we haven't done anything.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're nice people. It was just that I felt like things moved too fast, and I felt like I was more like I should just be more like fun time, not a committed
Okay. Yeah.
trouble.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
you
And that's
gotta
kind of like,
line up there.
yeah. And then for on camera, I've done several threesomes with married couples.
Ooh,
I
okay.
haven't done one recently. I think the last one I did it with Peaches and her husband. They do a lot of like swinger stuff. But ever since I started the gangbangs, that's when I focused on that. That's just been my main thing.
Oh,
So
I love that. Okay. Okay. What are you looking forward to next? I mean, we heard a little bit related to Exotica and upcoming content, but like, what else is on your sexy or not sexy, could be regular life, any kind of creativity, but like, what's on your bucket list going forward?
I want to do a huge gangbang this summer.
Okay.
I want to do like 200 guys. I know
Okay.
it's going to take a lot of planning, and I'm not ready to do that now because I just know it's like it takes so much time planning. But I want to do that, but I have figured out where I'm going to do it. If I don't do 200 guys, I definitely want to do 100. That's my next goal, just to try to get a bigger gangbang. Like I want to see how many, like how big I can go, what my limit is. And then I definitely want to go back to Aruba later this year and maybe bring a guy with me. When I went to Aruba, I wasn't as big. So I'm worried that if I go by myself, people are going to recognize me because when I was there last time, apparently some of the guys from the island were there. And I would walk by myself down to the beach. And I'm like, okay, I have to like remind myself that I'm not just a girl from Wisconsin because I'm like, there's people that would probably try to stalk me or try to harass me, like, hey, we need to make content. And I just want to go there to have a vacation. Like, so, anyways, I think I want to bring a guy with me next time. I recently just took the Kazumi University course, which I'm still taking. And I'm going to be strengthening my marketing skills. I'm going to get more into vlogging and just really reevaluating how I'm presenting myself on the internet so I can be my full potential because of my past and because of the things that I went through with my ex, I wasn't really presenting myself on the internet the way that you would see like Angela White, or I want to be more professional in a way, but still like authentic. I don't want to just be like, I'm a cute girl in a long turtleneck. I want to be more sexy, but I want to do it in a way where it's more authentic.
Yes. Oh, yes. I love that. I think discovering our authentic sexuality truly, I know for myself, has been a lifelong, ongoing journey. And then I know that, like, sometimes being in the public eye, it's like, oh my God, am I changing in front of people right now? Oh, I'm evolving. How do I share this? Like, I know that that's been such a big thing for me over the years as I have gone deep down this rabbit hole of sexiness. How do you feel like your work helps spread love and or eroticism? Like how do you I'm sure you've heard a lot of reflections from fans. I'm sure you've felt some sort of thing inside of your own self, but when you think about the work that you do and like what you're sharing for yourself and for others, how do you think it's spreading ripples of love in this world?
Making guys who feel forgotten feel like they are worth something, and being able to talk to me and not just feeling like I'm just another girl on the internet. Because when they get to talk to me, I actually like show I am a little vulnerable sometimes with them, and they love that. The guys who just feel like they're forgotten or they're missing something and they get to have that connection with me that they're not getting at home, or maybe they're not used to seeing the type of content that I have, and they finally feel like, "Oh, I'm not seeing the same thing. This girl is just filming with, like, regular guys," and it makes them feel like they have something to look forward to.
Mm. Oh, I love that. I so love. If you could design for yourself with an unlimited budget a perfect pleasure palace. What does Wisconsin Tiff's perfect play space look like? Like, what are some elements in design, style, texture, whatever? How would you design that?
It would be something with a waterfall in the background, like an in-home wall one,
Yes.
and white, all white with a big olive fake olive tree, and I'm actually expressing my fireplace right now,
I
my
love it.
fireplace mantle, and, just very luxurious, rich, clean lines, and just looks like very comfortable, love-making, she has her shit together
I
kind of
love it.
place.
Beautiful. Okay, okay. So like lush couches. Are you like a velvet or leather person? Like I'm like, please don't put me on velvet, but I'm like, you can give me leather all day long, whatever you want.
I'm both.
Okay.
Currently, I wanted to get a leather chair, but, I decided not to. I went with something else, but my a lot of my furniture is white, and
Bold choice.
yes, and I love having fluffy blankets, and I actually like, my little throw blankets are fluffy. I went and got a lamb fur or whatever it is, pillow, and I have it on my couch.
Oh, I love fuzzy
Yeah.
things. Okay, I'm here for it.
Yeah, it's real lamb fur, and it's curly, and it's, like, fluffy, and my dog tried eating it, but thankfully
Oh
he
no.
stopped trying to because like, but I love details, and yeah,
I
so
love that. Okay, you talked about future gangbang that's coming up and those big numbers, but in general, what are your hopes for your life and work as a content creator going forward? Like, how do you hope to see yourself unfold?
I wanna do more vlogging,
Okay.
and I wanna do more collab vloggings. I wanna get more I wouldn't say serious because I am very serious about what I do. I wanna try to present myself in a way where others are gonna see the hard work and wanna work with me, the people that I look up to, because the only way I can get there is by being as if I'm already there,
Yeah.
meaning like not feeling like I'm missing something, because I've been feeling that way for the last year until 6 months ago. I reevaluated how I was posting my content and stuff. and being like, why can't I be like, why am I not like them? I want to be like them. And I'm like, well, I'm posting it like that and I need to like make changes. So
Mm.
I'm working on strengthening my marketing skills by presenting myself differently in a way, but where I'm still myself, but just doing it a little different and exploring, like trying different outfits and not acting like I'm just some wholesome girl that is stuck in like trying to be, not trying to be a pick me, but being like, oh, I'm not a porn star. I don't do porn, but I do, and I should be proud of it. And not trying to be like, prove like, oh, you should like me because I'm a wholesome mom or I'm a wholesome
Yeah.
like person. I do porn and I want them to know that I do porn. And I want to express that in a way where I'm still myself.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. I mean, because your authentic self is awesome. And the more that you can bring that, I feel like the more fun we have. And then it's just like a upward spiral. Oh, that's so exciting. Okay. So to wrap up, what do you think collectively we, the world, need to co create a sexier, more loving planet to live on together?
Be accepting of others and non-judgmental. Everybody is on a different life path, and we all are going through something in our own life, and you can't save everybody. Just showing love towards others and not so focused on somebody that you don't agree with, because that's just going to make your life feel like shit, because you're constantly trying to prove to somebody how they should be, when in reality, are you sure you're okay with how you are in your life? So, yeah,
I love that. And how do you like to spread ripples of love?
being relatable to people, connecting to with them on a more deeper level. And for like the internet, just being silly sometimes and them seeing me as a person and not being judgmental of people regardless of what's going on in their life.
I love that. What is your flavor of silly like?
Being goofy. Like when I first started social media, I was such a weirdo because I had just discovered myself, and I'm like, I would make these stupid videos of me wearing a knitted sweater that I got from Target, and I would just be satire, and I would say I knitted this sweater and I'm single because I have 12 cats and I had a retainer, and I would be like so cheesy, and I'd do like a slow stern, and I have like this cheesy like wholesome music, and just be like the freaking weirdo. And that's where I'm like, okay, that needs to stay on a different platform if I want to like, and that's where I come, where now I'm like at a place where, okay, I was discovering not feeling judged
Yeah.
for being goofy. And
Authenticity.
that
Yeah.
was me letting myself out.
Yeah.
And now that I feel confident in myself, I don't feel like I have to be like that, because I already know I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't have to be goofy. But sometimes my goofiness will come out.
Oh, yeah.
I did
Relatable.
this whole satire thing pretending I was like Amish,
Okay.
and it's obvious satire. So I did a whole thing on that. So that was like one of my little satire sillinesses that I did. I had, oh my God, that's a whole different thing, but that was fun to do. I'm a
Amazing.
little goofy, but I try not to. But that comes in play with me taking my marketing more serious, because what am I trying to do to get people to subscribe? Because let's just be honest, being goofy and weird, are you marketing your sex tapes, or are we going to market you being a weirdo and wanting to be everybody's friend because you want to get subscribers? They're going to those people are more like followers and fans, but we want to kind of get focused on trying to get people to subscribe and to be watching your porn.
Fuck yeah. Yeah. I mean, let's magnetize everyone who's into anal gangbangs to your direction. It sounds like you have a
Yes.
lot to offer there. Oh my God. Well, thank you so much for joining us today here. Lovers, you can find her on the internet at wisconsintiffxxx.com. The link is in the description below. Wisconsin Tiff, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Lovely woo humans, that is our show. Remember, to follow your hearts and follow your parts and follow me in family-friendly internet places at Lunar Woohoo, or if you're in naughty internet places, at Lunar Secrets. Visit howtowoo.fyi for links to everything. You can support our awesome show on Patreon for early ad-free episodes. You can worship me virtually on OnlyFans or Sextpanther, or we can work together in person in a number of excellent creative capacities. You can also ask a question, share a story, or apply to be a guest at howtowoo.fyi if you want to be on the show. And tell a friend to help us grow. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and let me know how you're spreading ripples of love.